How's it going, everyone? The PlayStation Store is running its massive spring sale right now. Looked at games under $10, looked at games under $5, gonna up the price point a little bit, and look at games under the price of $20, so this is really $10 to $20, not gonna be retreading games I already mentioned in the previous videos. We do have a couple of plus extra titles. I'll go through those very quickly at the end of this video. It's just that when you're getting into this higher threshold of price points, might be a good idea to just sign up for plus extra, because a month of plus extra is what, $15? I don't even know, because usually people sign up yearly, but whatever the case may be, you know, when you're talking about picking up higher price games, might be a better idea to sign up for that. But if you're totally against subscription services, we'll go over that at the end of this video as well. But let's get right into it. Want to start things off with Alan Wake Remastered, 55% off for $13.49. Alan Wake is a game that came out all the way back in 2010, and really, I feel like the only reason it didn't resonate at a commercial level, at least, was the fact it was a full $60 game and it was a shorter title. It was probably a game you could complete in around 7 to 8 hours. It did ultimately get some DLC content as well, but you're talking about add-on content on top of the base game. This version ups the visuals, and you do get all the bonus content, and best of all, you're not paying a total premium price for it. It's at $13.49, which I think is a great price point. The gameplay of Alan Wake definitely does show its age, but I think from an atmosphere standpoint, ambiance, narrative, those elements are still incredibly strong, and I think for $13.49, great pickup here. Next up, we have Mafia Definitive Edition, 65% off for $14. Another game that's not super lengthy, but again, sometimes you just want a game that gets to the point, and I feel like Mafia Definitive Edition gets to the point. Another one that is a remake, well, Alan Wake was a remaster, Mafia is a full-on remake of the original title, and I would say from a visual standpoint, it looks really good. From a gameplay standpoint, it's not going to be revolutionary or blow away at this stage of the game, but it's fine. It's totally competent, and narratively, voice acting wise, I think those aspects of the game are incredibly strong. You're talking about a game you can probably complete in 8 to 10 hours and, you know, play through this, jump to Mafia 2, and then ultimately Mafia 3 as well. One of the more underrated franchises, in my opinion, in all of gaming, but $14 for Mafia Definitive Edition, I think fairly good. Next up, we have Red Dead Redemption 2, 67% off for $19.79. You guys know me. Would it be a video where I talk about Red Dead Redemption 2 if we don't mention the fact, where is that PlayStation 5 upgrade? We need that PS5 upgrade, but nevertheless, Red Dead Redemption 2 for the game itself, it's fantastic. You know, there's so much variety in terms of the content in Red Dead Redemption 2, and not to say all of that is gonna be stuff that you enjoy, but there's so much variety that there's gonna be a lot of content that you're gonna enjoy. You don't have to do absolutely everything in the game. You're probably gonna really enjoy going through the main story, and if you do want to tackle some of the side content, that's up to you. But, you know, it's not mandatory for you to do every last bit of content. Although, if you do want to do it, that is totally cool as well. And that can sync up a lot of hours out of your day. So, yeah, Red Dead Redemption 2, a classic in my opinion. Arthur Morgan, one of the GOATs in terms of video game main characters. And the rest of the cast, really strong as well. Superb voice acting as well. $19.79, great price. Red Dead Online, you know, it is what it is. Most people consider it kind of a meme, but, you know, they're still supporting it. So, take that for what you will. $19.79 on that. Next up, Tales of Arise. $19.79 on this as well. Tremendous JRPG. Great visuals and a great step forward for Tales of as a franchise, given that Tales of, you know, it was a super consistent JRPG franchise for a long time, but it wasn't taking that leap forward that I think the franchise needed to take. Berseria was great. I loved Vesperia. Zestria was what it was. But Arise, from a technical standpoint, really took the franchise up a level. You still have a solid roster of characters. Maybe not the most compelling main character in the world, especially if you're comparing it to, you know, Luke from Abyss, if you're comparing to Velvet from Berseria, or even Yuri from Vesperia. I didn't like the cast of characters, especially the main characters, as much, but overall, they're still likable main characters. I just think the standard is kind of high in terms of the best Tales of main characters. Gameplay is strong. Content-wise, there's a lot to do. $19.79, a good buy on this as well. Next up, Disco Elysium, the final cut. $14 if you are a PlayStation Plus subscriber. I really enjoyed Disco Elysium, but let it be known, this is not a game for everyone. It's a game that very much leans on its writing and its narrative direction, but those elements of the game are incredibly strong, maybe stronger than you're gonna find in the majority of other games. I don't think that's a stretch in saying that. Disco Elysium is really a masterclass when it comes to video game writing, and it really shines through. But given that it is more of a slower paced game, a more methodical approach to, you know, storytelling, it's not gonna be for everybody, and I understand that. I recommended it to a bunch of my friends. One of them outright told me he couldn't believe that I would recommend him a game like this, but nevertheless, I think more often than not, people do really end up enjoying the game. Great art style, a different kind of style to the game. Very mature, again, very narrative driven, so do know that going into it. $14 for this, I think, is a no-brainer. Definitely give it a look. Next up, for those of you that are action platformer fans, or let's just be honest, Mega Man fans, Azure Striker Gunvolt is something you're going to enjoy. The Striker Pack, 50% off for $19.99. This gets you Striker Gunvolt 1 and 2. Really enjoyable side-scrolling action platformers. If you're a fan of the Mega Man platforming games, these are super fast-paced, super action-heavy, and I enjoyed them. I didn't really dig them from a narrative standpoint. Like, they're fine, but the gameplay I thought was rather strong. And again, if you're a fan of that style of gameplay, I think you'll enjoy Azure Striker Gunvolt quite a bit. And you get both games here. There is a third game in the franchise, so you know, you can try that out at some point as well, but nonetheless, Striker Pack, 20 bucks, think that's a pretty good buy. Next up, Odin Sphere, Leifthrasir, 75% off for $14.99. At this point, I feel like I talk about Vanillaware quite a lot. I think they are one of the more underrated studios in gaming. They don't put out games that frequently, but man, when they do, you are assuredly getting something that obviously artistically looks fantastic, but from a gameplay standpoint, usually really good and narratively really strong as well. Odin Sphere was a relatively iconic game back in the PS2 era. Like, I remember it being like kind of everywhere. It was the greatest hits title, and I feel like it was promoted pretty well, but you know, back then, a game like this is only going to resonate at a certain level, but I really enjoyed it, and this version is really great. Visually still looks fantastic. Character design-wise, great. Solid characters and solid gameplay as well. You know, that release price of $60, let's be real, a little bit high there, but $15, okay. Now we're cooking. This is a price point I can get behind, so that's a great deal as well, and I believe the lowest price we've seen for Odin Sphere, so definitely worthwhile to check it out at that price point. Lastly, we do have 3 games that are available on Plus Extra, so, you know, if you want to buy them, buy them. If not, you know, sign up to Plus Extra. Scarlett Nexus, 75% off for $14.99. Scarlett Nexus is a tremendous JRPG, touted to be a brain punk JRPG. I don't really know what that means, but I will tell you this. This is an awesome game with a really unique style to it, and kind of why it was described as a brain punk JRPG, but nevertheless, good cast of characters. Story is good. I know some people weren't a big fan of some of the direction that they took with it, but I think overall it's rather compelling. Gameplay, I think, is really good. Narratively, the cutscenes, a lot of it is through these visual novel style presentations, so, you know, that might not be for everybody, but overall, I still thought the game was really good, and there are cutscenes for the bigger, impactful moments of the game, so that should be noted as well. But 15 bucks for that, pretty good. Judgment, 60% off for $16. RGG seems to be one of everybody's favorite studios these days. They are one of the most consistent studios on the planet. They just dropped Like a Dragon Ishin. They're gonna be doing a lot of Yakuza content. They did Judgment, they did Lost Judgment. Judgment is the PS5 version. Great game, really great main character. Mystery in the story, and the narrative is incredibly mature, incredibly compelling on that regard as well. $16 I think is a great price for it, so definitely give that a look. That's a no-brainer. A lot of content in that game as well. And lastly, wouldn't be a video covering games under the price of $20, and if this game's on sale, I gotta mention it. Assassin's Creed the Ezio Collection, AC2, AC Brotherhood, AC Revelations. These are some games that, you know, in my formative teenage years, I really grew up playing. Like, I loved AC2, loved AC Brotherhood, loved AC, loving AC Revelations might be a little bit of a stretch. I enjoyed AC Revelations. By the time Revelations came out, I was like, alright, Ezio, I'm kind of done with this. But Brotherhood was great, albeit a bit easy. AC2 really reignited Assassin's Creed after Assassin's Creed 1. Was a fine game, but a lot of people were a little bit disappointed by it. But Assassin's Creed 2, man, that game came out and everybody seemed to really enjoy it. Brotherhood followed up, really good in that regard as well, and Revelations is pretty good. You had that Altair kind of narrative thread thrown in there as well, so that was pretty nice. But $12 for Ezio Collection, no-brainer there as well, available on Plus Extra as well. But that is going to do it for me. Again, a lot of great deals under the price of $20, a lot of these under the price of $15, so a lot of options in terms of what to pick up, but that's going to do it for me. Sound off with all of your thoughts in the comment section down below. As always, thank you for watching, and goodbye. Hey guys, we hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, make sure to hit the subscribe button, and if you're already subscribed, do us a favor and hit the bell icon. This way you'll be notified whenever we post a new video. That's the best way to keep up with all of our uploads, and we usually try to upload 2 videos a day. And with the bell icon hit, you'll be notified whenever we do upload a video. As always, thanks for watching.